How's it going? Welcome to the JB Font Show. My name is James Fauntleroy. I am your host, and we have a bit of a show for you today. So, as you guys can tell from the thumbnail, we're going to be talking about something that Cenk Uygur should have realized a long time ago, could have realized a long time ago, had no idea of. Nah, he had an idea. Um, so I'm going to share my screen really quick just to show you guys what I am referring to. I don't think I need to share volume, but but this is what's going on right now. So as you guys can see here, this is a tweet by him. He says, "Undeniable fact: Manchin and Bernie Sanders are both senators, but Manchin is getting everything he wants, and Bernie is getting almost nothing. Why? Because Manchin is willing to kill the bill, and Bernie isn't. Progressives will have no willpower until they're willing to kill bills." That that kind of sounds almost in the same lane as forced to vote, right? Am I wrong about that? Being willing to kill a bill because it doesn't meet your standards. I mean, okay, let's put it like this: if somebody like Joe Manchin can force a vote, and not even force a vote, but he can use his one vote to kill a bill or bring it to life, what makes you think that the whole block of progressives can do? Like, what can they do? Hey Noah, how's it going? War Deer Entertainment, good to see you. How you doing? I know I'm not gonna have too many people on the stream because it's still a brand new channel, but I'm glad to have you. Thanks, Matt. I appreciate it. Nice to see you. But are they realizing the cuckery of it all? And yes, I know I just made up a word, but it seems like it's like, did you get this from a year ago when we were telling you that, look, they're not going to move Biden left? In fact, where Joe Manchin is right now, Joe Biden was. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Um, but yeah, where Joe Manchin is, Joe Biden was. So what makes you think that anything was going to move further to the left? It's not. And so uh, what were we talking about? We're talking about the infrastructure bill that's supposed to be passed in order to help us Americans, right? Um, well, some of the provisions that a lot of people were looking forward to were cut out. We're not going to, those of us who are in Medicare, myself included, we're not going to get the dental and vision that we should have gotten. It's not going to be reduced to the age of 65. And we're not going to get any paid leave for parents or medically paid leave. Um, it's kind of sad when you think about it because everybody was counting on, especially like, you know, I think it was also the child tax credit, not child tax credit. I'm sorry. What you call it? The uh, universal pre-K. I think that's going to be watered down, if I'm not mistaken. But paid family leave, I mean, that's like a no-brainer. It's all over the nation, and it should be a no-brainer because didn't he run on that? You know, uh, wait, hold on. Yeah, they should have. In fact, they could have just said, you know what, we will not vote for this. And some people are like, oh well, they're gonna hold the line. That's not what Mama Bear said. No. Look, look here. Look at what Mama Bear said. All right. All right. Here's what Mama Bear said. Mama Bear said, do not embarrass the president by voting down the infrastructure bill as he flies overseas. Don't embarrass. She told him like she was their mama. Don't y'all embarrass me. Y'all better vote for this bill. And she says she also would also put the infrastructure bill on the floor today and hold the vote open to get the bill through. It says here further, Shulowski asked about Joe Manchin and Kristen Sinema. She said, take the president at his word. He will get the bill through. Just trust the process. Trust the process. Right? Yeah. No. So this is the point where bravery has to take a president. You have to be brave and be able to say, you know what, Nancy, no, I'm going to vote against this because it's not doing anything for the American people. Unfortunately, a lot of times what they'll do is they'll go, well, it got something. It's better to have something than nothing. You keep giving somebody crumbs and see what they're going to do. Keep doing that. Keep it up. And the thing is that part of me, honestly, is like, you know what? Let it happen. Let it happen. You know why? Because then if we let it happen, then that is one step closer to us getting out in the streets and forcing things that should have happened a long time ago to happen. I'm going to go here to the chat because I have a few chatters. William Kitchen said Cenk looks like horse porn. I'm sorry. I'm trying to keep this more elevated, but y'all just y'all crack me up. And obviously, thank you so much. See, a progressive co-opted. All the horrible people who put us in economic hellhole 40 years ago are still running the country. Absolutely. How long has Joe Biden been in office? How long has Nancy Pelosi been in office? She's been around for almost 30 years. And the thing is, the funny part is she sounds a lot like a specific young congresswoman right now that was pushing for universal health care, but you don't hear peep out of her about that anymore. I'm just saying. Somebody asked on Twitter, somebody on Twitter said Cenk is chasing views by complaining. The thing is that he has no room to talk because he was literally sheepdogging people into the Democratic Party. First, he did it with Justice Democrats. Well, actually, no. With the Young Turks, he would call it home of the progressives, which there is no home of the progressives. It's just sheepdogging people into the Democratic Party. And, that maintains the status quo. Then he tried to do it with Justice Democrats, and he literally had a hand in putting the squad in office. And guess what? They're ineffectual. So really, people like Cenk Uygur and Kyle Kalinske, they are some of the ones who it's really partially their fault that we have these ineffectual people, because technically they could have went tougher and said, yeah, no, you guys need to be at this level and you guys are only at this level, so we're not going to put you guys in. You need to prove to us that you're going to be like a bull in a china shop. And they didn't. And even Kyle Kalinske, admitted, so much. So, yeah. Of course, it is depressing and disappointing, because the thing is that even though a lot of us on the left were right, we didn't want to be right. That's the thing that people need to understand. I don't want to be right about this. I hate the fact that I'm right about this. I hate the fact that people, like my homie Nick from Fred Hampton Leftist. I hate that he was correct. And I'm sure he hates it too, because he wanted to be wrong. We all wanted to be wrong. And so that's the problem. Um, hey Morgan Johnson, how's it going? Good to see you. Robin, hey. Robin, the domination. Well, she did whip them into shape, right? See, a few weeks ago when AOC was crying after that vote, when she voted present on that Iron Dome bill, she changed it from voting no. So I guess somebody got whipped into shape. Absolutely. These bills, both bills should be killed. They should be. Because the thing is that what are they really doing for people? Absolutely nothing. Nothing at all. And then they sit here and then they hammering about, oh, something's better than nothing. You keeping somebody hungry, eventually they're gonna bite at you. Have you I think I saw this one time. I don't know if it was a TikTok video or whatever, but somebody kept playing like they were giving the dog the treat, and the dog be ready to get it, and they would pull it back. They kept doing it, kept doing it, kept messing with the dog. Next thing you know, the dog looks at him and just attacks. That's what's going to happen. It's going to happen. Y'all look, fuck around and find out. Right? It's going to happen. Forced to vote. Is this some brand new strategy that nobody has ever brought back up in January before? Look, we've been talking about it. This whole time we've been talking about it. But unfortunately, they don't want to do it because they want to play behind the scenes, and look at where that has gotten us. Let's see who else is in the chat. Let me see. It also breaks the cycle of abuse in a sense. That's only the way you can break power. Yeah. Well, the only way, is the only way you can break power, because you have to say no. You can't be yes men and women for the Democratic Party, because if you keep saying yes, they're going to keep doing what they're doing. That's just like if somebody is stepping on my foot and it hurts and it's harming me, and I say, get off my foot, get off my foot, get off my foot, get off my foot, I'm eventually going to have to shove them off. If you're not saying anything, if you're sticking to, you're just suffering through it and wincing through the pain and just letting them stand on your foot, then by the time they finally get off, your foot's going to be messed up. This country is messed up. And the thing is that we have to get to a point where we can't even depend on them anymore. It's done. It's over. The experiment with Justice Dems, done. Absolutely. So this is one of the reasons why me, as part of Fred Hampton Leftist Network, all of us at Fred Hampton Left, people like Robert Durden, people like Jimmy Dore, people like Franco from Frank Analysis, people like Jackson Hinkle, The Convo, Couch, Slow News Day, all those guys, all of us are at the point now where we're just like, okay, yeah, we just need to get feet out in the streets. I mean, if we're going to do anything politically wise, it may be for local politics, but other than that, we're done. We're just finished with them, because we keep seeing the ineffectual complacency that they have, where they rest on their laurels and then they just say, we're just going to trust the process. We're just going to do it that way. And then you see how it happens. And then next thing you know, people go, I thought we were supposed to get this done. Well, Joe Manchin won't let us. Kristen Sinema won't let us. It's the rotating villain. That's what sucks about it. Yeah. I had to. Look, I was looking like a bushwhacker. So I was like, you know what? Let me, because I was just like, no, I can't do that. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Yeah. She's a cuckosaurus. Absolutely. There is no rebel. There is not a rebellious spirit in, all up, and through TYT. No, there's not. In fact, in fact, you know how people call uh they would say resist during the Trump presidency? No, it's assist. And guess what? TYT is doing the same thing for Biden. Assist. Home of the assisters. That's what they are. And people, still give their money to TYT. They're still thinking, oh, all we got to do is work through the Democratic Party and we can get things done. How's that working out for you? And it's just garbage. It's just silly. Yeah, it does give the whole phrase "let them eat cake" a new meaning. Like, and the thing is that, and here's the funny thing, Auntie Anne. If you're not mad, if you're not angry, you're not paying attention. And even people in tweets yesterday were like, "Oh, we shouldn't be so angry. We gotta still work through the party and blah blah blah." I'm like, no, 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 absolutely not. In fact, if anything, we should be, working with a different party so that even if we work with a different party, it can move the Democratic Party left. But even more than that, why aren't we doing what the government fails to do? Feed, clothe, house, take care of, medically, things like that. Is it difficult? Yes, it is difficult. But the thing is that they're not saving us. So we have to save ourselves. Remember the hashtag that was going around on the left, SOS USA? We're literally in that. And anybody who's watching from another country, yes, the United States is this much of a clusterfuck. It is, yes. It is not the shining city on a hill, as one warmonger said. It is not. It has never been the true land of opportunity. The only land of opportunity that the United States is for the people who are already rich. If you do not have any money, or if you are not willing to be sociopathic and exploitative, then this country ain't right for you. Which is most humans. Electoralism on a national level is pointless. Yeah. Local elections and direct action are our only hope. I agree. And that's what I've been saying. And, you got people who sit there and automatically will try to give their money and donations and donate their time, because time is also a major commodity in the life of a human, to people who are useless. The progressives right now are as useless as wet toilet paper. You can't do shit with it. That's how useless they are. You got Pramila Jayapal going, oh, well, he's the closer in chief and he's the inspirer in chief, talking about Biden. Like, are you kidding me right now? The closer in chief, the inspirer in chief? Why don't you put on some Burt's Bees on your lips and kiss his ass even more? He ain't doing nothing. And you want to sit there and talk about, Lord, don't get me started. Yeah. Home of the Cuckosaurus. Cuckosaurus Rex. Rebel headquarters. We're living sociopathic values. We got to yell to the rooftops. This shit isn't normal. Wake up, folks. Yeah. Yeah. One of the reasons why, we're going through what we're going through is out of greed and selfishness. And why do we have so much greed and selfishness that we see? It's because we literally live in a system that promotes it. If we had a system that discouraged greed and selfishness, i.e., one that encouraged collectivism and cooperation, collaboration, one that encouraged people to, uh, for the majority of people to own the means of production and distribution and able to have collective sharing community wide on different things that we absolutely need, like food, water, clothing, uh, healthcare, housing. If we had something like that that discouraged this culmination of wealth at the top, instead it spreads the wealth out, then yeah, that would be discouraging to greed and selfishness. And then even society mentally would change, and they would start to look down on people who are always trying to push this me, mine, it's all mine type of mentality. We don't need that. It's called capitalist brain, where you think that all I got to do is just do for myself, and I have absolutely no responsibility to my brothers and sisters that are other human beings. So that mentality has affected us. That I just got to do for myself. Why do I got to pay taxes? I don't want to give my money to other people. Taxes is basically giving your money to other people so that you can help them too. But what they don't realize is that those other people help them. They expect other people to help them as far as their taxes are being concerned. But then when it comes to them contributing, they don't want to give it back. That's why I reject that whole right-wing libertarian notion that taxation is theft. No, it's not. In fact, as far as I'm learning from MMT, is that taxation is basically necessary to make sure that the wealthy do not have too much power. Be honest with you, I think everyone should have a measure of wealth, and no one should be that much more significantly wealthy than the other. I mean, workers owning and doing what they do best, which is produce. The meritocracy should be on the person who works the most, the person who helps the most, and then that will breed this culture of compassion and kindness. That's what we need. Some great comments, by the way. Maslow's hierarchy of needs, which is the key to having a successful, healthy life. Right now, every principle has been getting violated by our government. Yeah, actually, you know what? Let me pull that up. Thank you so much for that, Noah. You a real one. Hold on. Let me. Oh wow, it's actually a book. Okay. Can I expand this? Can I grow this? Hold on. Open a new tab. Hold up. Okay. Oh shit. Get out of my face, stupid ads. God, I hate capitalism so much. Okay. All right, I'm gonna share my screen really quick, just so that people who are not aware with Maslow's hierarchy of needs, I want you guys to see this, because this is absolutely necessary for our very survival as humans, and is not being applied. Okay. In fact, I'm going to zoom in just so that we can have a good view on this. Okay. So it's like a pyramid. Okay. Maslow's hierarchy of needs. So the first is the physiological needs. Okay. Physiologically being our body, right? And basic mental functions. So physiological needs: air, water, food, shelter, sleep, clothing, reproduction. Now, we should have a right to clean air. We should have a right to clean water. We should have a right to basic healthy food. We should have a right to shelter, basically meaning home. We should have a right to adequate sleep. Nobody should work beyond a certain amount of time where it interferes with their sleep. Basic clothing, I'd argue that, yeah, that should be provided as well. And as for reproduction, well, you get in where you fit in. But for the most part, these are our hierarchy of needs. These are the basic needs that everyone. And hey, look, I'll be real with you. I also believe that sex work is work and should be legalized. So therefore, that covers the reproduction. And so, number one, clean air, that's being denied by our government. Clean water, that's being denied by our government. Adequate food, that's being denied by our government. Shelter, that's being denied by our government. Sleep, that's being denied by our government by means of corporations. Clothing, that's being denied by our government and actually are forcing other people in other lands to work in sweatshops, making very little to nothing an hour to make the clothes that we buy. And then on top of that, reproduction, well, we don't have time to reproduce because guess what? That's being done by corporations who want to overwork us. So guess what? Now the human population is going down. And these are the hierarchy. I'm in the physiological. I didn't even get up on the ladder. Because if you provide for those physiological needs, then guess what goes up? The improvement for all the other needs. So then you go to the safety needs with personal security, employment, resources, and health and property. So then that goes up. Because if you give, like for instance, let's take food right now. How many people have access to truly healthy food? There are food deserts everywhere. Food deserts are everywhere. And you have people that are lacking in good health because they can't get the adequate food that they need. Let's not even bring up the fact that a lot of heirloom different vegetables and fruits that are being denied us. How many different types of bananas did we used to have, and now we just have one regular yellow kind? How many different types of apples did we used to have, and now we only have just one basic kind, or close to only? We whittled down how many kinds that we've had. How many different kinds of carrots have existed, and now we only have one orange version. There's so many different types. Love and belonging, friendship, intimacy, family, sense of connection. We're losing that too. And through that, a lot of change can actually take place because then we can fight against the system. Esteem, respect, self-esteem, status, recognition, strength, freedom. That's also going out the window. I even put out a tweet a couple of days ago that a lot of us men have body issues, and we also suffer from things like depression. So it's all around. Unfortunately, a lot of the brunt of body image issues happen to women, which is sad, and they shouldn't ever have to go through that. But that's part of capitalism. That's part of it, to drive those sales up, to drive those profits up. And if we can actually, bolster all these different things, you have self-actualization, desire to become the most that one can be. And here's the funny part. If you do it for that one, and if you do it for everybody across the board, then that changes from desire to become the most that society can be. Society. Then instead of ending up like Star Wars, we can end up like Star Trek. But no, because of capitalism, because that need to concentrate all that money at the top, we need to take all the actual physiological needs away from people just so that we can make a buck. Thanks, Noah, for sharing. Thank you so much. I'm about to go do my second round for Tour for the Poor in San Antonio. Oh, nice. Hey, Matt, look, if you are also collecting donations for that mutual aid that you're doing, tag me in a tweet and I will retweet it for you so that we can help you out in that too. Because hey, we love what you're doing, man. Auntie Ann, now that all the COVID craziness calms down and before 22 election propaganda gears up, now it's time for local offices to feel as independence or third party or even non-partisan. Yes, I encourage anybody who is willing, who thinks that they may be able to do good as far as the local politics aspect. I'm talking about um, school board, you know, superintendent, uh, city council, comptroller, hell, run for sheriff and defund their asses. Go ahead. Um, Something like that. Then please, by all means, and work with the people in your community who are providing mutual aid. And if you manage to become sheriff, work with people like Nick and Zoya and Awkward on the 10 demands and defund the sheriff's department. If you can run for sheriff and win, oh, yeah. And then reallocate that money to the neighborhoods, you're doing some divine intervention right there. Okay. Um yeah, Robin. Gordon Gecko said greed. He said for his actual quote was greed, for the lack of the better word, is good. And that's basically what yeah, this is what is basically the basis for capitalism. Um Thank you so much. Appreciate it so much. I appreciate it a lot. Goodwill is my favorite fashion house. I'm gonna be honest with you though. Goodwill got some issues. Goodwill got some issues because I hear that. Well, one of the things I do know is that people who are disabled, they have a intellectual disability. They'll hire them, and then they will pay them below minimum wage just to keep them busy, even though they're literally producing and working. They're being paid peanuts. And I think Goodwill does it as well as Salvation Army. No, they deserve not just a wage, but a living wage. I don't care if they have an intellectual disability. They're still working. What they produce matters, not just keeping them busy. You want to keep them busy, put them in an art class, put them someplace else, put them in something else that doesn't generate profit. But no, they're doing something that generates profit. So therefore, pay them a living wage. What's up? Where? How's it going? I think Boris Johnson tried to repurpose the Gordon Gecko speech as green is good recently, an attempt to promote what the UK is doing before COP26. Look, green can be good. It definitely can be. But that means you going all the way on green and walking completely away from fossil fuels. And I don't know about what Johnson is doing, but I do know what Biden is doing. And Biden is approving fracking permits all over the country. And he does not apply that that train of thought when it comes to green actually being good. He doesn't believe in it. He just says it because he wants to make it look like green is good, but it's not actually true. Yeah, true. We have to grow heirloom veggies and fruits ourselves. You got to keep them alive somehow. Nothing makes money faster than folks feel ugly. Yeah, because then you have to make it so that you make an industry off of people's pain. For instance, go to any country where you have black and brown people and go into their aisles where beauty products are kept. How many of those do you see skin lightening cream? These skin lightening creams that they manufacture is because of this pain that has been brought upon those of us who are of a darker hue from white supremacy, basically saying that our color is undesirable. And so to increase desirability, then you need to be closer to being white. I'm going to be real. I used to hate my skin color. I despised it because I used to think that I was ugly. And growing up, who got all the attention? Light-skinned boys. They got a lot of attention. They were always being viewed as pretty. They were light-skinned, or if they were biracial, then that's how it was. And so I could have been one of those that tried to lighten his skin and things like that. I actually literally had to learn that the skin color that you're born with is beautiful. And beauty is in the eye of the beholder. And no, Eurocentric standards are not the basis for actual beauty. So I had to learn that. It was tough, but I had to. So yeah. Their shops in Brooklyn are geared towards rich hipsters. Look, me and my family basically grew up in thrift stores. And thrift stores are kind of interesting because the thing is they'll take in all those clothes in for free, and then they'll sell them and make a pure profit. Pure profit. That's all it is. So yeah. Blue Moon Red Wine. What's up, homie? Asia has so much skin lightening cream. Oh yeah. And I feel bad because there's so many beautiful brown Asian people out there that don't need to lighten their skin at all. It's not necessary. You don't need to do that. And you're beautiful just to look. Okay, I'm a gay guy, so let me tell you, I've seen some fine looking brown Asian dudes out there. And I'm like, I would take that skin lightening cream and I take that bottle away from them. I'm like, no, sir. Throw this away. You don't need it. You are gorgeous just the way you are because you're a human being. We don't need to alter ourselves. The only time people need something to alter is if it negatively influences their life, as far as, like if somebody needs to, get their nose fixed because of an accident or something like that. But other than that, they don't really need that. I've gotten way off the rails from my original subject, but y'all got, so you guys are just wonderful. Black people age more gracefully. They have better skin. It also depends on, okay. So the whole phrase goes, good. Some people say black don't crack. No, let me tell you something. Black cracks. All right. It cracks. That's why the phrase is good black don't crack. And what is good black? Good black is black that can take care of itself. Good black is the black that drinks water. Good black is the black that doesn't smoke cigarettes or tries to quit. Good black is the black that they try to take care of themselves. Sometimes we miss the mark. It's okay. But we try to do our best to take care of ourselves. But capitalism makes it kind of hard. So, but trust me, I've seen black crack. You know what I mean? Flavor Flav. Good black cracks. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Let me see. Skin lightening creams for my keloids and scars help me feel less self-conscious. I mean, look, if it's for something that, is a, a blemish or something on you that, you know, that happened, maybe an accident, maybe a condition that, made things, a certain way, I can see the usefulness for them for that specific niche purpose. But to try to alter ourselves from what we naturally are, that's the only disagreement I have. But I do understand that is where it could serve a purpose, ITN. And I want to correct myself in I don't want to make a generalization on all people who use it. I don't want to do that. I do recognize there are some people who may need it for certain specific purposes, but for the most part, it gets marketed as a beauty product, and I don't think that's right. Um, as a corrector for certain like blemishes and things like that, like you said, I agree with that, but that's as far as I think it should go. But yeah, back back to the topic at hand. Um, Let me share my screen really quick. Uh, yeah. So this is from Verve Times. It says Democrats cut paid leave from Build Back Better package. We are the only country that I know of that doesn't have paid leave. It takes a woman a few weeks, maybe a couple, 2 or 3 months to fully recover from having a baby. Moms in the chat, please let me know how long it takes, but I think it takes a few months. The fact that it's getting cut or even just at minimum whittled down to 4 weeks is sad. For anyone that is on the right, that is pro-life, pro-family, why are you allowing this to happen? Why are you allowing that part to get cut? I thought family values, right? A new mom, she gets a couple months minimum. I won't even say a couple months. I honestly think that it should be 24 months at minimum. That's my opinion. Because they need to be able to bond with the baby. But I say not just for the mom, but for the father and any parents that are non-binary. Because here's the thing. You talk about family values and you talk about how, oh, well, we need to adhere to more family values. People need to stay together and, and bond with their kids. Okay. Why aren't we making that a provision by the government? So that moms and dad, and so that parents can bond with their children from when they were born. So that they can have a closeness. Because close families create close communities. Sounds to me like they don't really want a close community. Which means that eventually they don't want us to be able to have the ability to come together and go, hey, something's not right. Maybe we should put our government officials, under fire, rhetorically. Or not, whatever. So yeah. And of course they have Joe Schmo himself, Joe Manchin, on the front, Says Senate Democrats have failed to convince Senator Joe Manchin, failed to convince, that's funny, to support a paid leave program and told the House that he will likely have to be cut out of the Build Back Better spending bill and tax bill entirely. Democrats were scrambling Wednesday to find a way to put some kind of national paid leave program in their budget bill, floating narrower policies that would leave protections for those who are sick themselves or caring for sick family members. But in the end, Manchin didn't look like he would bite. The Democrats sent out a signal that they were abandoning the push, according to congressional aide brief on the decision. So yeah, so that's out. So parents won't be able to get paid leave. So a mother, a woman that has a baby, she won't be able to, you know, recover. She won't be able to spend time with her kid right after it's born. So much for adequate nursing. So much for that. God, if they really hate humanity, why not just come out and say it? Just say it. I just hate humanity. I just want you guys to serve my needs. That's all. Just say that. Say it. At least be honest with us. We already know you're an asshole. You guys just need to acknowledge it yourself. The first step to recovery is admitting you have a problem. Yeah. They don't do anything. And that's the problem, is that they don't want to. And you know what? People need to remember that. They don't want to. Because everybody's like, oh, they just lack political will. Stop saying it like that. You're sugarcoating it. They don't fucking care about you. They don't care. They don't care about you. Let's just be real. What? Do you actually think they believe what they say when they talk to you? And yes, that is psychopathic behavior. Because if a woman has a child, you need her to recover. Well, you want her to get sick? But she also needs, during that time off, to make sure that the bills are paid. You want her to be homeless while she's recovering? You want to be homeless with a newborn? Is that what you want? I had to go back to work 3 days after my daughter was born. My body wasn't ready. And you know what? The government failed you. It failed you. And imagine how much more of a bond you and your daughter would have had if you had 24 months, 2 years to bond with your kid. Imagine. Because that can set a precedent for the rest of your life with you and your child. That bond. Yeah, they did. They forgot the morals and principles. First few months are very critical for every aspect of child development. Yes. Trust the science. Oh, they don't trust the science. If they really trust the science, then they would have did at minimum what I would have said. Breastfeeding is not accommodated at all in the United States. Worse than that, so many are downright hostile to breastfeeding mothers. That's sad. That one of the most natural things that a human being can do is being looked down upon. I mean, we have restaurants everywhere. You can eat out in the open. Why can't a newborn? Oh, it has to be a pre-approved bottle, which is basically not naturally human beings. Mm-mm-mm. Sad. Hi, I'm Noah. I have a problem with watching too much mainstream media garbage. Yeah, I do too. First example of admitting the problem. Yeah, yeah. But yeah, so I mean, this is one of the reasons why, um, this bill should be killed. I think it should be killed because if you're going to sit here and tout this bill, it better have something for everybody in it. And correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't this bill supposed to be around $6 trillion originally? It was quoted $6 trillion. Then it got whittled to 3.5. Then it got whittled to 1.7, and now it's at 1.5. From 6 trillion to 1.5. And this is supposed to be an infrastructure bill. Roads, bridges, waterways. What? Is it raining? Oh shit, it's raining. 1.6. I'm sorry, 1.5 from 6. That's crazy. And in fact, weren't experts saying that we needed an infrastructure bill that was way bigger than that? Bernie Sanders, when he was running back in 2020, he was pushing for the Green New Deal. Mind you, the Green New Deal was actually a watered down version from the Green Party's version of the Green New Deal. And Bernie Sanders' version was $16 trillion. And it still wasn't enough to do what we really needed to do. And yes, we can afford it. And people will say, oh, we can't afford it. Yes, we can. The United States is has a fiat currency, so we can do it. Their currency issuers, not currency. They're not. They don't receive the currency; they issue it out. So, the United States can do it, and we can actually produce and create a ginormous green infrastructure. You guys want to beat China? Okay, do it the green way. Let's build high-speed rail. Let's go. Let's try to build it in a year, double what China has. We can do it. What happened to that go-to American spirit? But what do I know? I can't tell the number of times I was asked to do that in the bathroom. Bitch, I'm feeding a baby, not taking a dump. And who wants to smell that when you're trying to feed your kid? Like, come on now. Like, look, and this is just for modesty purposes. If you want to put, a cover over your kid while they're eating, okay, because you got some people that are a little out there that you don't want them to see, and that's fine. But you either create an area, a more quieter area for nursing mothers, or you just let them do it right there. I mean, if she's at the table at a restaurant, you're eating, let them eat. Have you ever had to sit through a crying baby, hungry baby? That's no. Feed that child. Let them feed their child. Gosh, people are crazy. Bernie said we need 10 trillion, but he submitted 6. Then they took the good stuff out. Child care help actually would raise costs. You know what? This would have been crazy, but if I were Bernie, I would have said we need 10 trillion. I would have submitted 12 or 15 trillion, something like that. I would have said no, the prices went up. I would say now try to pull that back, or even double it, 20 trillion, and then you negotiate from there. shoot for the moon. Swing for the fence. Do it. Why are you going to sit here and go, oh, well, I think we're just going to go down the state? No! No! If you're going to do it, then go hard. You're going to be retiring soon anyway. I couldn't imagine you staying in office for that much longer. Go big. Come on, man. Lord, these people, I'm telling you. So, yeah. So, yeah, this was actually officially my first live stream on this channel. So, count this up as a victory. Dems negotiated themselves against themselves every time. I can't wait for these dinosaurs to leave Congress. They're not leaving unless we force them out. But yeah, so this is my first one. I'm very proud. I forgot to put up Lord JB. Oh gosh, what am I doing? I forgot. Look, if you guys want, you guys can go and buy me a coffee. If you guys like this channel and support whatever I do. Also, I put my PayPal in the description as well. If you guys feel like donating to that, if you guys feel better about that. But yeah. And I said that I was going to do one show a week, but for some reason I saw a lot of what was going on, and I was just like, yo, I gotta get online and talk about this, because it is so much BS. And the thing is that a lot of what we're seeing right now is they're being cucks. They're being played. They're being bamboozled into thinking that they actually can do something, when largely the Democratic Party just doesn't care. And so they're getting frustrated and thinking, oh, well, all we got to do is do this. And and honestly, if they truly utilize the outside game, like a lot of us have been saying, then maybe something would have happened. But they don't want to utilize it because either one, they're afraid, or two, they don't care. It's one of the two. Because honestly, if they were to come to us and go, look, here's what's going to happen, and then make plans with us and then follow it through, it would happen. But I don't think it will. So the best I think that we can do is, if you donate to mutual aid, you can go to mutualaidhub.org. Hang on, let me write it out in the chat. Mutualaidhub.org. Go to mutualaidhub.org, and you guys can find different mutual aids, or you can, start something yourself, and help people out, because the thing is that we have to save ourselves. But yeah. And so, whatever you guys do, just continue to keep fighting, continue to keep speaking truth. And look, don't, what's the best way I can put this? Don't allow the despair of what's going on to push you away from fighting for change and having apathy and thinking that it's useless. Because even though you may not change the world, you can still change someone's world. That's good enough. So yeah, it's starting to thunder and lightning. I got my window open, and I don't want to do all that, but look, water your plants, water yourselves, drink plenty of water. Try to laugh today. Also, stay tuned for the Fred Hampton Left Roundtable. I'll be on there at 5:30 p.m. this late afternoon. And what the hell, guys? I'll see y'all in the next one.